Hello everybody, this is CATOINMOTION. Welcome to the first episode of Flute Noob, where I learn how to play the flute and you can learn along with me. If you're wondering what a noob is, it's exactly that, a complete beginner. And that is what I am at this instrument, and I'm going to be working through learning it from the very beginning to hopefully becoming a semi-pro, literally for fun. With all these lockdown measures, I have all this extra time on my hands because I basically lost all my work. So now I have time to do all this practicing and to make all these cool videos for you guys, and I'm actually really enjoying it, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna quite go back to what I was doing before, but we'll find out. Anyways, so without further ado, as promised, I'm gonna share with you 3 things that took my tone from being literally no sound at all and just blowing air to actually sounding kind of halfway decent in one short week. So let's get down to it. So at number 1, this is a book I highly recommend. It is the Marcel Moyes de la Sonorité on seniority. That's this book right here. I'll put links to all these in the description, guys, so you can just click on that and get the book if you like. But this book is amazing because it really works you through all of the finer details of producing a good tone in each register, and then it has these exercises that you can work through that really just make a huge difference in a short amount of time. Obviously, you have to keep doing this regularly, so set time aside for tone development every single time you practice, ideally every day. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, this book is not an exciting read, not an exciting exercise book, but it gets the job done. So most of what I did this week in terms of practice was just simply work through the first 4 pages of this book, work on playing the low notes, chromatically playing the low notes, you know, whole steps, minor thirds, different intervals, and then the last 2 days of the week I started adding the 3rd octave and learning the fingerings. Quick disclaimer, so I was able to learn or get to the point that I'm currently at, that you'll hear at the end of the video when I perform this level 1 piece for you, Vieille Chanson, at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But I was able to get to this point this quickly because though I am a complete beginner at the flute, I do play the saxophone, as you can see over there in the corners, and if you've seen it in videos on my channel. And that did give me a bit of an edge because the fingerings are actually the same in the first, almost the same, in the first 2 octaves, and then the 3rd octave is completely different. So I did have to learn those this week, but I think I kind of got it at this point. Working through this Marcel Moyes book, honestly, I just sat down and I worked through these exercises at 60 BPM for 1 to 2 hours every single day. But every time I picked up the flute, there was a noticeable difference. So it was well worth the effort, and I highly recommend this book. Other quick disclaimer. So I am a complete beginner. I did take a few lessons 10 years ago in university when I was learning the sax, because I don't know, there were pressures for me to learn how to double things, and in the end I concluded that I don't really care about doubling, so I just stopped. And now here we are. So yeah, I did get a few insights on what books to start with and a few things to work on. Don't remember most of the things to work on, but I did keep notes on what books to get, so those are the ones that I'm starting with on my flute journey. So cool. So that's number 1. Great book. I can't recommend this one enough, and I'm pretty sure every flautist uses this book, so it's probably a good one to get. At number 2 of things that really helped me develop my tone in Nikon was just simply getting another book with simple songs that I can take the exercises that I was using in Marcel Moyes' book for developing tone and range and like being able to play intervals, and I'm putting them into actual practice on songs so that you have quick gratification for the efforts you're putting in with the Marcel Moyes. And I did that with this book. 76 Greatest Studies for Flute. Once again, I will put links to all of these in the description below, so you can check that out at the end of the video. So I did the first 6 graded studies, not particularly hard, but it did give me a chance to like actually work through the stuff in different patterns, not always doing a chromatic scale, not always doing the long tones and thirds and stuff. It's all mixed up, which is the beauty of practicing these things on an actual piece. So once again, it motivated me this week. It really showed me the results of my hard work doing the Marcel noise. And I probably spent like 10 to 15 minutes just doing that. Most of my practice was focused on number 1, the Marcel noise book, because I'm trying to get from point A to B kind of as fast as I can. And that way it's kind of more helpful for you guys if you're following along with me learning flute. And that way I can recommend things that will get you to where you want to be faster. So on that note, if you do have any recommendations for books that I should check out and maybe work through and then report back to you guys on what I thought, by all means throw them in the comments. I'm always happy to have a conversation, and I'm hoping that we can learn this together, obviously, so that'd be amazing. So yeah, that was the second book I used. There is a third book, which I will be performing a piece out of at the end of this video once again. But that was the Charles Cushlan book, 14 pieces for flute and piano. This book right here. This has a few more like complicated pieces, more musical, and it also has flute accompaniment. So I did find a few tracks of people playing the pieces in this book, and then that way I was able to play along with it. And once again, it was just a great motivator for me to keep moving forward with practicing. The first book I recommended, which I will admit is quite boring. Okay, so that takes care of number 2. Now on to number 3, the third thing that really helped me with developing my tone. And this is going to sound really obvious, but I think you'd be surprised how many people just don't do this when they're learning any instrument, or really anything, is listen to good flautists. Sounds like a no-brainer, but yeah, it's just something you need to do. How are you going to develop a good tone if you don't know what a good flute tone sounds like? So every morning of the past week, I basically just went on Spotify, pulled up a different flautist playing a bunch of different things. I mostly listen to classical flautists. I'm not a classical player by any means. That's mostly what I'm going to be working through on this channel. I might throw in a few curveballs here and there, but I listen to some great flautists, play the Bach cello suites on flute, play some flute sonatas. And then I was kind of very critically listening for like 10-15 minutes to see, okay, well, what do I like about their tone? What don't I like about their tone? How does it make me feel? You know, what kind of colors are they getting in the low register? How do they get the high register, you know, out so effortlessly and so full compared to blah, 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 to the low register? I shouldn't say blah, 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 that doesn't help you. So those were kind of things I focused on when I was listening for like 15 minutes, and I just left it on in the background while I worked on some of the other videos on my channel, and that way I kind of get it into my ear, and then I know what I'm working towards when I'm practicing all these things. Super handy, definitely a must do, and it's probably the single biggest thing, okay, maybe second biggest, obviously doing the exercises goes a long way, but the second biggest thing that really helped me this week from not being able to play a note to like, oh, I sound kind of decent now. So that kind of wraps this up, folks. Those are the 3 things that really helped me get to where I am after week 1. And now I'm going to show you some of the results. So here's one of the pieces I was working on. It is not a hard piece, but it's not really the point, because we're mostly talking about tone and just basic technique of the flute today. And I picked a piece that kind of works its way through low register to mid-high register. So the lowest note in this is E at the bottom of the staff, and the highest note is a B. And just getting smooth transitions and so forth was kind of my focus. So without further ado, I'm going to play a song for you. Oh, and by the way, thank you for tuning in today, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please by all means just toss them in the comments and I will reply quickly. Also, don't forget to give a thumbs up if this helped you in any way, shape, or form, or if any of the information in this video was useful to you, and that way that'll tell YouTube to share this with others that can benefit from this. Am I forgetting anything else? I don't think so. So yeah, I'm gonna play a song for you now. All right, folks, that's a wrap. Not a bad job for like 1 week, and hopefully, you know, it's going to sound better next week as long as I just keep plugging away at the exercises and diligently practicing. So if this video was helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, just so that YouTube shares it with other people and they can benefit from it as well. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you join me again next week. Take care for now, and happy practicing.